And my suggestion to you today is because the brand is doing so well, the master brand, that you consider something I call a brand within a brand. Why not take advantage of the fact that you work at this fantastic organization and hitch your wagon to someone with a bigger wagon? Now, some of you are saying, well, Michael, I've already done that. I'm employed here. My paycheck is from Sweetwater. And, you know, good for you. I mean, that's the basic fundamental underpinning of your relationship. But you want a job or a career? Do you want to benefit from your relationship short term and then cash out? Or would you like to stay the course and really reap the benefits? Because short timers don't build the brand within the brand. They don't bother. And let's be honest, everybody, some of us don't have the bandwidth to do this. Some of you may not even understand what I'm talking about when I say brand within a brand. And I'm taking questions all day today. I love the conversation. So you can interrupt me anytime, or we can talk at the end. But this idea of brand within a brand, and I'm going to give you many examples of it here in my remaining minutes. But I want you to think about this because it's a real opportunity for you. Do you know how many people do not work at successful companies? Do you know how many people work at average companies? Statistically speaking, most companies are average. I say that, it's funny, when I say that and it's not too personal, everybody goes, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. But when I say it too directly, people don't like it. Sometimes I get a chance to address other speakers, right? People that do what I do, and I go, well, you know, statistically speaking, most speakers are average. And you can hear body noise that's coming from the audience, like, not me, you know, everybody in the room. You know the old saying that 82% of the population think that they're above average. So it's interesting how we think of ourselves. It's interesting how we don't think of ourselves. And we're giving you a chance today to think of yourselves differently and build this brand within a brand while extending the Sweetwater brand, of course. When I say brand within a brand, I don't want you to go rogue, right? You got to color within the Sweetwater lines. But then to establish something, think of it this way. Sweetwater is memorable and irreplaceable, and now you're at Sweetwater, and you're making yourself memorable and irreplaceable. And that may be hard for some of you to get there because you think, well, I work on a team of 100, and there's a lot of us, and I'm just a widget. But that's safe versus not safe thinking. That's optimism versus pessimism, right? So let's talk about some practical ways to do this. And by the way, this differentiation, you differentiating yourself is really, really important because you sell a commodity. You sell something that other people, that customers, can buy from other places, with rare exception. I know you've invented your own CRM. Nobody else can buy that. But almost anybody can buy a Stratocaster from someplace else for relatively the same price. So the differentiation does not come from the product. It comes from the service, and in particular, the relationship that's attached to the service. Because Amazon offers a service as well. You've heard of Amazon. Amazon offers a service as well. They also sell commodities. But Amazon is kicking it. Why? Because of the speed that they do it, because they're so good at what they do, because they make fewer mistakes than most people, because of Amazon Prime, clever marketing that they do, right? All this stuff. But Amazon has a major problem, everybody. Major problem. Anybody know what it is? Go ahead. These employees don't make money?
No, Amazon just started turning profit maybe a couple years ago.
Yeah, they didn't make money for the longest time. That's correct. That was a big problem for a long time. I think they're probably working that out now.
Also automating everything and possibly eliminating
Yeah, automating things. They have an image problem. As you know, they had this big contest to relocate, their or to establish a headquarters in New York, and New York said, "No, thank you." No, thank you. Hang on one second. They go, and they're like, Amazon's like, "What? We just had this big contest, and we awarded you our presence, and you don't want us? That's a problem." Bezos's thing is a problem. You've heard about Bezos's thing. We don't need to get into that, sir.
They don't have us.
They don't have you. Go ahead, say more.
That's their problem.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Listen to me very carefully. If you remember nothing else about what I say today, remember this. Nobody has a friend that sells at Amazon. It's an extremely important thing for you to take with you today. Nobody has a pal that they can call at Amazon that can talk them through a sale or help them feel good about a purchase or share information with them in a very human way. They don't have it. But Sweetwater has it all day and all night, 365 days a year. You guys are amazing. And it's that relationship that has made, when I say relationship, plural, of course, that has made this master brand irreplaceable and memorable. Without it, you'd be just another company. You could be Amazon. Trick out your website, stop making phone calls, and you're Amazon. Which is why we train you to be really good at what you do. Elite. And I will say this honestly, John didn't know anything I'm going to say today. He's on the edge of his seat. But he didn't know I was going to say this for sure. I've never worked at a company that's as highly trained as you guys. Never. When I say worked at, I mean spoken at. I've never really had a job now that I think about it. When I say worked at, I've never spoken at a company, and I've been all over the place, that's as highly trained as you guys. The culture here is amazing. I mean, I don't know if you really look. It can be hard to see the forest through the trees, to really appreciate where you're at as it's happening. And I'll tell you that as somebody who turns 60 in August. It's really easy to look at what's happening and not take it and take it for granted. And I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying it's easy to do that. And then finally, when we talk about Amazon, comparing Amazon to Sweetwater, is that you work in a celebrity industry. What's fascinating to me about the music business, especially now that with the harvesting of The Voice and America's Got Talent and American Idol and all these shows, is that clearly, this is a celebrity industry. Even the non-talented people think they got it going on. Everybody thinks they're the bomb, or they're going to be the bomb. And that's fascinating to me. Charles Revlon, the guy, the makeup guy, they asked him one time they were interviewing him about selling and makeup and stuff like that. And at one point, he just stops the interview and he says, "Look, I don't sell makeup," he says. "I sell hope." And that's what you guys sell. You sell celebrity, man. You sell hope. I mean, I think some of the people that you sell gear to can really play. I mean, they're masters. But a lot of them are just hoping to get there. And they want to use your tools and your expertise and any shortcut you can give them so that they can get to America's Got Talent and be on television. Certainly, you've had these conversations. Does this resonate with you that this is who we're selling to a lot of the time? It's okay, by the way. I'm just saying understand it. So we're in a celebrity business, and to me that requires celebrity service. For a long time, I've had this idea that customer service is really about helping people feel important. And I got this from my dad. You know how I said that Fred Rogers' mom used to say these certain things to him, like she said, look for the helpers, over and over and over again. My dad used to say to me when we were growing up, we're talking about celebrity service and this idea that everybody thinks they're a celebrity, everybody wants to be treated like a celebrity, right? My dad used to say that that you should treat everybody like it's like they're a star. And an extension of that was he said if you treat people really well, they'll remember you. Now you got that memorability thing clicking from earlier. My dad used to tell me over and over again, the worst thing in the world is that somebody would meet you and not remember. And so my dad worked really hard on first impressions because he didn't want you to forget him. You know, some of you would say, well, it was ego. But if you knew my dad, you would just know it was a game. And by the way, my dad was also a musician. Not a celebrity by any stretch. He got, closest my dad got, he got an invitation from Tommy Dorsey's brother to go to New York. Not exactly claim to fame, right? But I like this. I like thinking about that. So what's the difference between you treating people like celebrities and trying to be memorable versus just doing your job? What does that look like? How many of you are doing it now? Can everybody learn to do it? And then what's the benefit of it once we figure it out? So let's talk about this, everybody.